Who is going to stop the Chiefs from three-peating? Who is going to stop them? I mean, first of all, are the 49ers going to get back? Can they get back? We know the record of teams when you lose the Super Bowl, the chances of that team getting back. Heck, a lot of years they don't even make it back to the playoffs, much less get back to the Super Bowl. That's number one. Number two, who else is there? I mean, can the Bills do it? Can the Lions get out of the NFC and do it? I think Philly's hit a wall. I think Philly's going to end up falling apart, so I don't think they're viable. A lot of people are saying Harbaugh, I still got to see them win a playoff game before I say they're going to knock off the Chiefs. Just win a playoff game first. Do that, and then we can talk about you beating the Chiefs. A lot of people say the Ravens. The Ravens are close. We'll see what the Ravens have after this offseason. I think they still need some more weapons. Lamar still got to get it together. If they can keep the defense together, Patrick Queen is a free agent, and they didn't give him a fifth-year option, so we'll see about that, even though he was an all-pro. So we'll find out. It's just there's a lot of things, man, that go into it. But the main thing is, are the Chiefs going to stick together? I think that's the first part of this. Or are the Chiefs going to stick together? So are the Chiefs, for instance, are they going to sign back L'Jarius Sneed? Are they going to sign back Chris Jones? It's tough to get both of them. It'll be tough to get both. One's going to have to get franchised. I'm quite sure of that. Who do you guys sign? Let me just ask you, who would you guys, as a Chiefs fan, or just a fan in general, you don't even have to be a Chiefs fan, just if you're the Chiefs, what do you do? Because they're the two biggest offseason free agents that you have to keep. I think you keep Sneed. That's yeah, a lot of you all on TikTok are saying Sneed. Yeah, I say Sneed. I say you got to shore up the back end. Don't get me wrong. Chris Jones is a game wrecker. But Chris Jones is also going to be 30 years old. Not that 30 is old, but in football terms, 30 years old, are you wanting to sign that guy to a 5-year deal? Probably not. Probably not. I think they signed Sneed. So I think you definitely got to keep Sneed. I think he's the guy. I mean, again, not that you're going to go out in the draft and find another Chris Jones, because you're not. You're not going to do that. I mean, they will if they're lucky, but, I mean, is there a Chris Jones out there? Maybe. There might be. I think you got to find a way for it to keep both of them, but if I had my choices, I'd take Sneed over Jones. So, and some people are saying that Jones gives them a chance to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, but McDuffie's only a second-year guy. He's not going nowhere. So, but Sneed gave him a chance to win the Super Bowl. Let's not kid ourselves. Sneed did too. Chase Young to Kansas City. The Chiefs aren't going to even touch Chase Young. Chase Young needs to figure it out, man. So much potential, but takes so many plays off. Doesn't give the constant effort. That's not a signing that the Chiefs want to do. They don't need that. They don't want that. So Sweat from Texas, we'll see. He's not Chris Jones. He's a run stuffer. He's not Chris Jones. He's not that guy. Good, but a run stuffer. A run stuffer. We'll find out, though. We will find out. My man David Gonzalez over on YouTube said this is the Jets' year. I mean, the Jets, yeah. I mean, their O-line is still going to be bad. They're going to bring back Aaron Rodgers, who's going to badmouth everybody. It's just the owner has been pretty much just badmouthed everybody. That franchise is a disaster. So it's just a disaster. And my man Pat Cockrell, he says this. Come on, Big B. You know it's the Cowboys' year again. 28 years and counting. Cowboys' year. But yeah, one team that nobody's talking about is Cincinnati. Joe Burrow, first of all, Joe Burrow's injury prone, but Cincinnati has an opportunity. If they can keep their defense together, because their defense is still pretty good. And if Burrow can somehow stay healthy, I think they got a chance. I think that Cincinnati's got a chance. Now, I think they got to sign T. Higgins, or they get somebody else in the draft to replace him. They got to do that because they're going to lose him and Tyler Boyd. While Tyler Boyd is not a number one, he's a number two at best. I think they're both going to end up being gone from Cincinnati, so you got to figure out and replace those guys. So, yeah, my man Brandon said if Burrow can stay healthy, that defense is good, they've got the best chance. Yeah, I think so. But the big question has always been, can Burrow stay healthy? I mean, the man cannot stay healthy. That's been part of the problem. And nobody blames anybody for being hurt. That's silly talk when you start blaming guys for being hurt. Nobody's doing that. However, you can say, hey, you are always hurt. I mean, they blame Lamar and said, Lamar, hey, you're always hurt. That was part of the issue with Lamar coming into the season. Can't stay healthy. Yes, you're right. Baby hands can't even stay healthy. My man, Redneck Patriot, Baby hands Pickett can't stay healthy. So, Burrow's got to learn to stay. He's got to figure out a way. I shouldn't say learn because you can't learn to stay healthy. He's got to figure out a way to be able to stay healthy. And if he does, you got a chance. They got a chance. The Bengals, like I said, that defense is good. Nobody wants to talk about that. When they beat the Chiefs a couple years back, it was the defense that did it. The defense stopped Patrick Mahomes. That's what happened. It wasn't that Joe Burrow threw for 375 yards and just carved him up. That's not what happened. The defense stopped them. Patrick Mahomes played the worst half of football, definitely in the playoffs, maybe in his career, and the Bengals beat him. So, we'll see. We will see what happens here with the Bengals. The Bengals, let's see. The Bengals, the Bills, the Ravens, the Lions. I still like the Lions in the NFC. I like the Lions because the Lions were basically got in their own way and caused a problem for themselves. Otherwise, the Lions are in the Super Bowl. And I don't think the 49ers can run it back. How many teams get back after you lose in the Super Bowl, get back? I mean, what's it been since the Buffalo Bills? So the Dolphins they got problems. The Dolphins still got to fix, first of all, their O-line. They got to get a better O-line. They were hurt, but their O-line wasn't great. Defense got to get better. So we'll see. Baltimore. A lot of people are saying Baltimore. The Broncos got better, but who's going to be the quarterback for the Broncos? There ain't no way Russell Wilson's going to be the quarterback. There ain't no way that he's going to be there. That relationship is over. So who's going to be the quarterback? Steelers will win their division. We'll see, man. We'll see. I'm not confident. Until I know who my Steelers quarterback's going to be, I'm not confident with anything. Until I know who the quarterback's going to be, I am not confident with anything. You're going to have to show me better than you can tell me. Because if you're telling me it's going to be Basket Case Tannehill or Baby Hands Pickett, I'm not confident. Not only am I not confident, I'm worried. So, Kenny Pickett for sure won't win the division. Yeah, you're right. I heard today that the Steelers are talking about taking Bo Nix at number 20. I'm like, come on, man. What is Bo Nix versus Baby Hands Pickett? To me, it's the same person. That would be horrible. Whew. But here's the scary part, people. We're talking about the Chiefs three-peating. The Chiefs got an opportunity. Not only do they have an opportunity to three-peat, they got an opportunity to be good for a long time. They're going to end up drafting Travis Kelce's replacement. They're going to do that this year. Now, I'm not saying Kelce's going to retire after next year. He might even play 2 more years. Or maybe he just plays 1 more year. But they're going to draft his replacement. They're going to get another receiver. They're probably going to sign a free agent receiver. If not, they're going to draft a guy. You know the Chiefs, they might even move up to draft a guy. They're going to figure it out. Rashee Rice is only getting better. You heard him say basically the first third of the season, he was overwhelmed with being in the NFL, which a lot of guys are. Once he got over being overwhelmed, Rashee Rice was outstanding. You got the best player in the world. Their offensive line is still good. It's going to be tough to beat the Chiefs. It just is. And you're going to have to beat them because we thought this was the year. Okay, their receiving core is not any good. They got to go on the road. Their defense is really good, but they're not going to be able to make enough plays to win. Turns out, yeah, they were. Yeah, they were. They knew what they were doing on defense. Remember last year when the second half of the season, or basically the last quarter of the season, their secondary got good. Now, the numbers and the metrics didn't average out to be really good because they were awful at the beginning of the year. But basically the last quarter of the season, the Chiefs secondary became very good last year. And then this year, they were just lights out all season. So we'll find out, but it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. So magically, somehow, their receivers became good in the playoffs. Yeah. It's what happens. They're just good players, man. They're just good. But if they three-peat, they got an opportunity. They got just as good as opportunity as anybody. So I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. I think there are a number of teams that can get in their way, more in the AFC than the NFC. But we'll see. We will see. It's going to be a fun offseason, I should say. Going to be a fun offseason. My man David Gonzalez says Mike Tomlin could drag the Steelers to the playoffs with Tebow under center. Nobody cares about getting to the playoffs, though, David. Fine, you get to the playoffs and you have absolutely no chance of winning. What good does that do? I mean, that's the thing about Steeler fans. A lot of Steeler fans, they keep talking about, well, Mike Tomlin can get us to the playoffs with anybody, and he never has a losing record. Okay, but then what? Are we just okay with getting to the playoffs and getting our head beaten in? I would say no. Just making it to the playoffs and picking 22nd doesn't help. It never has helped. And I know a lot of you all, especially on TikTok, thought I was crazy for saying it's time for Mike Tomlin to go because we're not getting any better. And I've said it once and I'll say it again. The mediocrity is the death of your franchise. Mediocrity is the death of your franchise. So, and that's where the Steelers are at right now. They are locked into mediocrity.